Motivation Monday is what we do on Mondays, giving you stories that will inspire you and challenge you to become all that you need to become. And today I've got an amazing story for you. Wonderful guest. I will be introducing him to you in the next short while. He overcame a lot of things growing up, and now he's going back to the community to give back. But before we get to his story, I have a question for you. The question is, what is the hardest obstacle you've had to overcome in your life? What is the hardest obstacle you have had to overcome in your life? Share that with me on SMS 20316 SMS line. WhatsApp number 0786316316. As you do so, we'll take a look at the local dailies and find out what's making headlines today. And a big story, Daily Nation, open defiance. What is it talking about? It says that when it rains, it pours. Things are getting thick in Raila Odinga's ODM party. Siaya Senator James Orengo, Rarieda MP Otiende Amolo, and Kakamega Governor Wycliffe Oparanya, who have been accused of going against the party position on the BBI bill, are digging in. Yesterday, they held a 2-hour closed-door meeting, further fueling the charge that they are fomenting a rebellion against Mr. Odinga and the party hierarchy. That's the big story on the front page of the Daily Nation. And then I'm seeing also KCSE results to be released as schools reopen today. It says candidates who sat for their Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examinations in March and April are expected to get their results today. 6 months after they start for the exams. You can take a look at that story as well. Tukiingia huku ndani, there's an amazing story here focusing on Mother's Day, which was yesterday, and it is the story of Roslyn. Roslyn, it says, who has battled with infertility, lives with 27 children at Harona Widows and Orphans Center. Think about that. Oh my goodness. The story says the sheer joy of caring for orphans and needy children. There's a picture here of Roslyn Orua, founder of Rona Foundation in Bondo, Siaya County. She takes care of 27 children. I'm telling you, God has the way of working out things. That's just a beautiful story. You can take a look at it. And then there's more politics focusing on BBI issues. Ministry to reclaim unused COVID jabs in 9 counties. The health CS, however, did not disclose when the recall will happen, but most of the vaccines will expire in the month of June. You can take a look at that as well. There's something on Bill and Melinda Gates. It says, how the super rich wealthy couples untie the knot. One of Kenya's most high-profile divorce must be that between Samuel Gishuru and his wife, the late Salome Njeri, and then they've gone on to tell us how the rich untie their knot. You can read that and find out more details about that. There's quite a bit on the editorials as well. And then there's something here from around the world. At least 15 people are dead after Guinean gold mine landslide. 15 people died Saturday after a landslide in a clandestine Arsenal gold mine in Guinea's northeast Singuri region. Rescuers and witnesses said. You can update yourself on that as well. Pullout is junior sport. It is all about painting and the love of art. You can check out that. And then in the back pages, it's all about soccer. Man United win puts a city title party on ice. And then for better or worse, Magelo stood by Ingwe to the end. Former AFC Leopards chairman and politician took a final bow on Friday. Those are some of the stories you will find in the local dailies this morning. Ensure you grab yourself a copy and keep yourself informed on what's happening both locally and internationally. In the next short while, we get into Motivation Monday. Question I'm asking you is, what's the hardest obstacle you have had to overcome in your life? Send that to 20316, SMS, WhatsApp 0786 316 316. It's Motivation Monday, and this morning we've got an amazing story. Wonderful guest in studio via Zoom, Stephen Nzusa. Stephen, how are you doing? Stephen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
How are you?
Yes, now I can. I'm very good. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for availing yourself to be part of the show today. We're excited to have you.
I am really, really humbled, and I'm actually glad to be here.
Awesome. So, Stephen, you are a lawyer by profession, and you do quite a bit of community work. Where do you do this community work?
I do it in a couple of slums. I started it off in my own society where I was born, that is in Kibra. And from 2012 to date, that's a number of years.
Yes. What exactly do you do?
A little part of the story of what I do is because I'm giving back. It's because I was given the same. I was sponsored as a little boy growing up in Kibera, and I got the opportunity to be in school while many others could not even afford to be in school. And so with a lot of camping and trainings that followed up in our sponsorship program, I felt the calling to actually give back when I can. And I started it at a very early age. I was in Form 3 when I decided it's high time the little that I have, I could actually give back, because I was getting a few shillings and I was able even to pay for one child in Kibera.
While you were still in school?
Yes, I was in Form 3.
Wow, that's commendable, my friend. Many of us are waiting to get the millions before we can help anybody.
Helping is not about the money. Helping is not about millions of money. Actually, helping is just going way beyond the norm, just to do something that makes you feel whole and complete. And what makes me feel that way is sharing the little that I have.
Yeah.
Because I know to many of us, we feel like 50 shillings is nothing, but somewhere out there, 50 shillings is something. And very so true. Coming down the line, years later, when I was through with law, I decided to partner with Kenya Human Rights, and we came up with an idea in Kibra called Human Rights Office, Kibra, and it's been there from 2012 to date. The main idea was because growing up, I saw a lot of atrocities happening to my people. The reasoning around it was most of them got arrested and none of them knew what were their legal rights to work around, or, you know, how do they get out of something like that? And most of them ended up bribing. Most of them would actually be arrested for nothing, just sitting somewhere, maybe, you know, having a chat or something, and all of them will just be picked up, and you would actually see parents running after the cops just to, you know, pay out. And this didn't sit well with me. And for quite a while, I knew my day would come. And so before my day would come, I would actually use the God-given opportunity of school to do something that would actually allow me to give back on the same. And this was law for me. Wow. And later on, apart from just, you know, educating the society on matters of law, the Constitution, there was also the sit-downs that we needed to have on pro bono legal advice, the court attendance. And, you know, as I continued doing these, more of me wanted to do something a little bit beyond law. And, you know, that's how I came up and started doing a lot of organizational work, coming up with different solutions, you know, clothed as organizations, and, you know, registering them on behalf of many people, sitting down with young people, mentoring them to take over the offices. And later on years to come, here I am sitting, and yes, I have quite a number of programs running, organizations running.
I like
all these just...
I like what you're sharing, because many times when we think about giving back to the community or giving back to the society, we look at it from the picture we see every other day. You know, you go to the supermarket, you buy a couple of loaves of bread and some packets of milk and some cookies, you know, and you go and you give these people who don't have food, and you feel like, wow, I've done something good, praise the Lord, you know. But yours is slightly different, you know. Law is what you have, and you've seen these people have a need in this area, and you're taking your expertise back to the community, and you're using that to be able to change lives and to inspire people. For me, that is amazing. I want to take you back to the beginning. You know, you said growing up in Kibra, life was hard. Talk to us a bit more about that.
Kibra is a whole testimony by itself. Like any other person that has ever grown in a slum, Kibra has a little bit, I would say, a little bit different, because by then, as I was growing up, every challenge you could ever think about was as if it was added a little bit of fire.
Oh.
Because the reason I'm saying so is if it's all about suffering, we really did suffer. It was all about food deficiency, issues of sanitation, issues of luck. Yes, they were there. They were there. I know, and I really want to take this opportunity as I give you this testimony just to thank my late mom in her absence. She really did a lot of good work to make sure that something just to eat. She will deny herself. She had a grocery shop and she would wake up very early in the morning.
Wow.
And when I say early, I mean it. But by 3 a.m. in the morning, my mom was out of the house. And by 6, she was back just to, to make sure we go to school and open our business and keep us going. And many of the times I testify about Kibra, about lack of food, lack of clothes. If some of these things, if they were never donated to us, it was quite a challenge.
Okay.
And I give a story whereby I remember this one time. We woke up and we were kind of angry, and my brother yawned. He actually just yawned, and I remember my mom saying, that's air burger. That will keep you going. That will keep you going for the day.
Yeah.
We laughed about it. We were very young. All we didn't know was that she was trying to tell us today I might not be able to provide. But, just run to school. And one of the advantages of being sponsored was lunch was available at the school, though little, but it was something. It was able to keep us going.
Yeah.
Some of the times I look at the clothes. Was it not for sponsorship and the clothes that we used to get as a school uniform? Had these shorts that I'd taken to the fundi. And, it had all these patches.
Oh, my goodness.
all over. This one time, I took it to him and he actually said something funny. He asked me, where do I place the other patch?
Yes.
You want me to repair a patch?
Yeah.
Because it was a patch that had torn,
The patch was torn.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
So I told him, I used to call him designer. So I used to tell him, come on. Do something, make it even look more better.
Yes.
Don't make it colorful, it will be an issue at school. But what I'm trying to say, we can laugh about it right now.
Yeah.
But then, sitting out there and wondering, is this was what was meant for us to, and I look at our neighbors and I was kind of like, if not 90 or even more %, all of them were going through what we were going through.
Yeah.
And we were surviving from, good relationship and the like, and, a lot of what my mother used to do. Because, so just to put the whole story out there, we suffered. I know what suffering looks like. We lacked. I know what lacking looks like. There are times that, my mom would pray and I could hear her ask God, is it going to change? And so later on in life, when everything was just coming into place, the grace of God was working in its own way, I really thank the heavens for coming through in ways I cannot explain.
Okay.
And education was key in the whole plan. And here I am today testifying about the past in Kibra. I still work there. Actually, 90% of my work is there. The 10% that has grown out of Kibera is in many other slums, like where I am right now. I work in Kibagare slum. I'm trying to introduce Kibagare to the world. And so all this comes through because of the hardships. And when I say so, the many stories that have been written, narrated, and you Google about Kibera, and the first thing that comes is crime, drugs, bad sanitation, and it's true. They used to be there, but for a couple of years, a lot of organizations have come through, and there's a change. Yes, there's a face uplift of Kibera, a little bit a day at a time. I won't say it's as bad as it used to be, because there are times that any new face could be marked in a second. Any new face, it could be noticed from the stage. Just a walk through Kibera was impossible. Today you drive through Today you can drive through. It's
Yes.
as safe as that. You can even drive through, stop somewhere, come out, have a phone call, go
Yes.
back into your car and drive through.
I've actually
But there
done.
was a
I've
time-
actually done that. I've actually done that. Exactly what you've described. I had a meeting with somebody in Kibra. I drove to Kibra, parked my car somewhere, got out of the car. We even took a walk, left the car there, came back, and everything was well. So I love it. We'll talk about at what point did things start turning for you? At what point did you begin to see, okay, there actually could be a light at the end of the tunnel? As much as this is the reality, I'm seeing there's hope and there's change. We'll look at that shortly. If you have any questions for my guest this morning, 20316 is the SMS line. WhatsApp number is 0786316316. I'm asking you, what's the hardest thing you've ever had to overcome? SMS is on 20316. WhatsApp 0786316316. So, Stephen, back to you. At what point in your life did you begin to have some hope and realize, okay, I think there's some light at the end of the tunnel? As much as this is the kind of life I've had growing up, there might be something different. When was that?
There's a time. Let me put this out there. I think when you grow, as you grow, there's a feeling that comes if you will be great, or you'll be doing something great. There's a feeling that just is with you. It's like just the finger of God that keeps on prodding at you, telling you, something, you have to do something within your purpose before you leave up. And growing that way, I knew there will be a great change. One time we went for camping with the sponsorship that I was in, and the camp was somewhere around Ngong.
Yeah.
And so I remember the preacher, there were visitors who would come from the US, and one of them was my sponsor. She was called Stacy. I can't remember the other name, but she was called Stacy. And, as she was preaching, there's something she said later. She called people to the front to get saved, and I stood up. As much as in our, I've been brought up in a Christian home, I knew Christ. I loved Christianity and everything. And, after we confessed to salvation, she said, and for those that are at the front, you have to understand that you're already anointed and called to serve. You shall give back. And among you, there's fire. There's someone who's fire that will have to do great things, not only for the societies in, but for the world at large. And today, in just the sponsorship, it's like we are preparing them for that. Immediately, for me, I felt this was me.
Yes.
That feeling you get every time God is trying to do something. I felt this was me, and actually lifted my hand and said, I want to do it. And I remember there was laughter in the room, and guys were happy because I was the jovial kind.
Yeah.
And this was our words. Receive it, and I said amen. And from that day, my life took a kind of turn, because everything that I did within that and later on made a lot of sense step by step. I felt this day would come, and I've speaking about this now. I will keep referring back to my late mom, because she was like the prophet of my life, prophetess of my life. She kept telling me these things over and over again. I see you doing great things. I see you helping people. I see you giving back. And I used to ask when. And she will tell me, aren't you doing it even right now at a very young age?
Wow.
I give you something and you go share it out. You don't even care about your own stomach. I buy you something and I actually see another child with your shoes running around. You're here barefoot. Where are your shoes? And so
this is something. This is something that was in you from a very young age.
Yes. For me, it's purely a calling.
Okay.
And I can testify about it over and over, how many times, even in my mature age, I've really, felt like I'm overdoing it. Sometimes lacking in the house because I'm giving too much. And I'm saying this today without any fear of any contradiction at all. There's even a time I was about to lose my own house in terms of my wife and children, because I was giving too much and my house was not having
anything.
How do I even put this? like I will get I was working. I was working. During the time I was working for Metrovet Kenya and Haspa Kenya, I used to get well paid. Even
Yes.
after when I was working for Kindio as a director, I used to get well paid.
Mm-hmm.
But 99% of my money used to pay fees.
What? For other
I
people?
had like 50 high school students to pay for fees.
50? How?
Yes.
How do you
And
pay
I
for
did not
50
have a
students, my
donor.
friend?
I did not even have a donor that time. Kindio Development being a real estate company, and with a lot of brokerage on land, and
Yeah.
I used to get a lot of percentage in terms of money. Even when I was doing a low in Mombasa campus, I used to work overnight at the port, gate number 18 in Mombasa, just to get money to pay fees for kids, not myself.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Just to make sure there's a child that stays in school. Why? I knew what I went through. And I never wanted anyone to go through what I went through just to be great. No, I decided I'll be a platform.
I love that, because I think sometimes we fail to understand why God allows us to go through some things. Because had you not experienced that, then you would not be carrying the same burden you have to be able to help all these people you're helping. And no wonder the Bible says then that all things work together for good. So I love that. There's something you keep referring to sponsors. Your sponsors did this, your sponsors did that. Who connected you to those sponsors when you were a child? How did you get connected?
This is a little bit funny.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me laugh about it before I say it. My auntie, who is also a pastor, was among the few that brought the first. Let me not sound different, but she's among the first pastors to bring white people to Kibera.
Okay.
For a mission.
Yeah.
And through the mission, she convinced them that we have needy people in this society, that you could sponsor their children, feed them, clothe them, or any other solution that you could actually give unto them. And so as they were going around Kibera and they were identifying needy people, my auntie said, even my own sister, as children, but one of the children is not in school, but this one, my brother is 4 years old, is in school. And so we are going to talk to her, and you could give me that favor, because I've already done for many others. Just pick one child from our house.
Yeah.
And so they came to our house. This is now my mom's testimony. I was running around without, I was just in a short, a toddler running around, no vest, no nothing.
Yes.
And I was shouting outside there, Awaru, Awaru, because I thought I was speaking English and saying, how are you? And so, so I came into the house shouting Awaru and ran outside saying Awaru. And, Stacy noticed me immediately, my sponsor. And she said, how comes that kid is speaking English? And my mom said, that's not English. He's just saying potatoes. And, Stacy said, no, that's English.
Yes.
He's saying hi to us, And I was called back, and immediately we were connected. I call it a spiritual connection, because she said, in school or not in school, this is going to be my child for the next number of years. I will sponsor him. And that's how I got my sponsorship, even without being in school.
Wow. So how long did the sponsorship last?
Up to Form 4. By Form 4, they were paying half of my fee. My mom used to hustle the rest.
Okay.
But we went up to Form 4, and immediately after Form 4, for me, I knew I had to find a little bit more money, because already my project, one of the projects I was doing, which is sponsorship also, had already kicked off by Form 3 with just one child.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what did you do after high school?
After high school, I got an opportunity to go to Uganda as a teacher. I was teaching chemistry and maths, and I was also a student of history and Kiswahili. But I used to attend my classes. I can testify about it, but I used to attend the classes I was teaching.
Right.
And so, because I needed the money.
Yes.
I actually needed the money.
Yes.
And, immediately you're young and you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders. Every single time you're there, someone has to call and go, like, your child has been sent out of school, and you're also a child, I'm just out of high school. And someone is confident enough just to call me in Uganda and just tell me, your child has been sent out of school. So I used to do, I also did a little bit of magendo in Uganda just to get more money. A testimony is a testimony.
Yes.
For you to be a Christian, there are things you just did, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. By then, I used to do a little bit of magendo in Uganda just to get some things into Uganda that were not supposed to be there. I used to get a lot of money out of it. I used to send it back to Kenya. And sometimes we laugh with some of the students that cleared school, and I tell them even up to date, do you know your fee I used to pay with some money that I never the right way? And they would laugh because some of them are even married right now.
Okay. How long were you in Uganda?
I was in Uganda for 2 good years.
Uh-huh.
And after 2 good years, I reported back to Mombasa campus. I delayed for a few months in reporting to school, the university, but they gave me a leeway because Mombasa campus was opening under Nairobi University. So we reported in Nairobi University, and we were asked who wants to be a pioneer in Mombasa campus, and the whole class lifted their hands.
Wow. And
it was a great experience after that. We are the pioneers of Mombasa School of Law. And it was also another opportunity. That's why I say this was all written. This was all pre-written by God, because I ended up having to work a lot at night. And even I used to work for my lecturer, a lot of filing between 8 in the morning to somewhere 11 in the morning. And I used to be in class between 11 and 5 in the evening. And from 6 to the next day, I used to be at the port.
Wow.
Yes. I needed the money to pay.
To help somebody, my friend.
Yes. Yes.
You are a special breed. Shortly, we'll talk about the whole aspect of giving back to the community and why many people don't do it. I find it interesting that very few people do it, and the majority of the people who do it don't even have the resources, but they have the heart. And because they have the heart, somehow God connects them to the resources. How can we get more people to give back to the community? We'll talk about that shortly. If you have any questions for us today, 20316 SMS line, WhatsApp number 0786 316 316. Stephen, I'm just wondering, why is it that a lot more people don't give back to the community? What are some of the excuses you've had people giving?
I think for many of the people that we grew up with, most of them looked at life as at the slum as how would I put it, as a catapult.
Okay.
If like you're thrown out of Kibera, there's no need to come back. That was one of the excuses. Why should I go back to poverty and the like? And I've gotten an opportunity either abroad, or I've gotten an opportunity in a good company. Now I'm living a good life.
Yeah. I'm
enjoying life and the like. Two, I've had a lot of people say slum people or needy people are not thankful enough. You'd give them and still they'd behave as if it's their right for them to be given. Three, there's also the essence of there's a lot of lies around help, in terms of a lot of people pretend to be needy.
Yeah.
So I agree on a little bit of it, because I've seen most people that have made it in Kibera still come back to live in Kibera and act needy.
Oh.
Because either they're hiding the wealth that they've gotten, or also they still need tunasemaga kukula pole pole of what they've already gotten. Maybe heal wealth or wealth. Wealth is wealth, more or less. But I've also seen a lot of people say, I'm investing for the future of my family. Why should I give back?
Yeah.
And these are Swahili that we use all the time. Babu yako akichimba, babu yangu akichimba, babu yako alikuwa wapi? It's a wording to mean that, someone in our family worked so hard for us to be this wealthy. Where was your grandfather when this was happening? And so they use that also to say, for them, they will be babus, wale walichimba. So they work hard right now just to, affirm the fact that their families will be okay and wealthy in the future. And so there's no time for them to give back and the like. And so there's a lot of stories around giving back. But I've met very genuine people that, want to give back and, don't get the right, honest to give back. And so out of it all, I know quite a huge number of people who can give back, but I also know quite a few who can give back in a great way.
Okay.
To many other souls out there.
Okay.
And so I count that a blessing.
I'm just wondering, how did your family ever struggle with you going back to help people in the community?
Yes, because and this is also another testimony. Sorry, I love laughing. I love laughter because my testimony is full of laughter.
Yes.
There's immediately after I cleared in 2012, I started my life in Kibera. I did not start my life out of Kibera. I started my life in Kibera. My firstborn is alive to testify of what I'm testifying right now.
Yeah.
The mother of my children is also alive to testify. My mom is not there, but my friends are there to testify about what I'm saying right now. The house I was living in Line Saba, very close to the grounds, used to have like a trench, like a mtaro where water used to pass through at the door. So every time it used to rain, all that water used to pass through my house.
Wow.
Down the drain, down to the other side. So every time I'm out helping people at my office, Christ the King, as a lawyer,
yeah,
I used to wait on clouds. If I see there are dark clouds, I run at home to lift my things and place them on the bed.
Your wife didn't complain about that? Living in that kind of a house? And yet being a lawyer, my friend, you can afford a better house. How did you navigate through that? How did you navigate through that? Tell us.
She was about to leave me. You remember
What?
me testifying that she was about to leave me because the biggest trauma she's ever gone through was you're married to a lawyer. Why would you allow yourself to live such a life?
Did she grow up in Kibra herself?
Yes. Born and raised in Kibra. And so, the idea was that he's giving back. You guys have made him to come back. Every money he's getting is actually giving to you people. And so we are praying and hoping that one day when the money increases, we will walk out of that house to a better house, which took close to a full year for me to move from that house, because I can testify about it right now that God was teaching me that the things of the world do not matter.
Wow.
When I've called you to serve. Seek ye the kingdom of God first. Serve, and I will uplift you at my own time. Because every little shilling I ever got, I can say assuredly, I have always felt I need to give first before I can give to myself. And so my child, Victor Mwendwa, every time at night, we will just, when it's raining and the water is passing through our house.
Yes.
And we joke around because he's the one now who jokes about it. And he goes like, you would see plastic pass by, like boats. Then he will see, feces wrapped in nylon passing through our house. He will see rats that now do not have anywhere to stay, being carried by the water passing through our house. All that is a testimony in my life. Yes. And when I shifted from that house,
yes,
I remember prophesying to my own life that I will never go back to that kind of life.
Yes.
Because it's a process. Grace has a way of just uplifting you slowly and slowly. And God has a very good understanding of humanity.
Yeah.
That if he uplifts you so fast, you'll actually forget your passion or your calling, the reason you're on earth, and you'll actually walk away because you have it all. But the process taken through just to be sitting where I'm sitting right now, to be comfortable enough to even do these kind of meeting and interview without even a lot of noise around me.
Yeah.
This is God. This is actually God.
Yes.
And I look back at my life and there's nothing else. I love saying that when you're so busy with God's work, he's so busy with you. He was so busy with me.
Wow. So have you gotten to a place now where you have a balance between the work you're doing out in the community and your family, so that your family is not suffering, but still you have something you're doing in the community? Because that balance is hard for a good number of people.
It was hard for quite a number of years because without me knowing, the number of people I was helping were increasing.
Yeah.
So the burden to help And, so within time, I would look at what I was actually earning. And every other single time, I ended up having to ask for donations. At first, for me, and there's a time I decided I'm going to ask for donations from even big organizations because already my work was well known. And I remember I got no reply about my work on email. This is something I always train a lot of young people on. I sat down in my own cyber and I wrote a lot of emails to a lot of people, and none of them ever replied to me. Then it hit me something. Growing up in the ghetto, you listen to a lot of reggae music.
Yes.
It hit me something. One reggae musician says, "Dance I had been on abroad. Do something in your own area yourself. Continue doing it without looking anywhere else, and God shall use that opportunity to bring in people to help you." So along the line, friends started coming in. My name got to be known outside there. My nickname, which is Baba Yao, became a thing outside there. And people were asking, who is this Baba Yao in Kibera? And, a lot of visitors started coming in because I was doing something called Ghetto Tour, just to introduce Kibera to the world. And people used to come in. People would travel to from different countries to Kenya and just be told, if you have to have a Ghetto Tour in Kibera, look for a guy called Baba Yao. And that's how I started getting friends to help me. And these, lessened the burden that I was having. And, kind of the balance started coming through. Not that I was still not giving out, but I was still giving. And then, along the line, one time, and this is now a lecture. I got a very good lecture from my mom. I remember she sat me down one time. I went to visit her. And the lecture was all about me. And she told me, even God is not always happy when you give everything and your child lacks. That child was also given to you for a reason. When your wife lacks, that is not giving. That is you entering into something we cannot even explain. So from today, every time you get, first thing you do, turn your back to the help you do and give back to your family first. Then turn to the people and give them. That means your house has it, and the people are. And this made a lot of sense later on in the future. And it's one of the things I'm trying also to work in a bigger way, that don't give what you do not have.
True.
My mentor right now keeps on reminding me that, Steve, don't give what you do not have unless your house has it. If your house has food, give food. If your house has clothes right now, give clothes. As I'm speaking right now, I'm doing a lot of clothes collection. Like I just have clothes collection where I'm sitting at the balcony. I'm still picking clothes and they like just to give out. When I have it in my house, I give it out. Because at the end of the day, there's no, how do I put this? I will never allow myself again for my family to suffer just because I'm out there giving out everything that I have. But I've learned that the heart that gives, that is how I've, taken all my days and time and sleeping, sitting down, coming up with organizations, running around on behalf of people, asking for donations, being in slums every single day, coming back home late, no matter, the curfew that is there. Come still after the curfew, and cops are now used to the fact that Steve comes late, and so, allow him to pass through. And so in all these, one thing has stood out for me. If my family is happy, I am happy to continue doing what I'm doing.
I love that.
And that's how the balance came through. But it was not easy to come to that balance. I can assuredly say even today, I still suffer once in a while when I'm out there and, you're shopping for your family and you pick one unga and then you realize, the family told me they don't have unga, I'll pick 3 for them. You've picked 1 for yourself. Then you call home and your wife reminds you, can you pick 3 also for us? So the balance is not easy to get it, because if you're passionate about something, it will disturb you for a while until you have just this reminder, this person that keeps reminding you, you're on this earth to do what you're doing, but do it rightly.
You
don't need in the future, you don't need in the future for your family to suffer just because you are the Teresa of your season. Or the Teresa of, no. You also invest well on their behalf so that when they come to also give back, they'll be giving back what you left for them to grow.
I like that. Wow. Stephen, unfortunately, my time is up for today, but there's something you've said there that I think is very important. You said that you've learned that if your family is happy, then you're also happy to go out and do what you're doing. I thank the Lord for you. Keep doing what you're doing, my friend. Many lives are being touched, and you're giving hope and a future to those young ones that you interact with. So God bless you, and thank you for finding the time to talk to us today.
Quite a pleasure, and I'm really, really honored to be here. Thank you for giving me the platform to share a little bit of my testimony.
Awesome.
There's more about Steve. They can find me out there.
Okay. Great. My friend, my time is up for today. Thank you for hooking up with me on Motivation Monday. I hope Stephen's story has inspired you. You and I can also go out and do something, giving back to the community. We'll hook up again tomorrow, God willing. Have a great day.
For this and more of our shows, log on to www.familymediaonline.com to enjoy a wide variety of programs from current affairs to testimonials and features, pastoral and inspirational shows, kids entertainment, and so much more. Also stream live on www.familymedia.tv.